welcome back to another video. My name is Bay, owner of Bay and Bunny, and today we are doing a market review. So this market happened back in May. It was part of my spring market season, and I knew it was gonna rain prior to attending this market. So in my mind, I had a smaller market day set up because I needed a contingency plan so I can get out of there quick, and so none of my plushies could get wet. I'm going to be looking down at my notebook because I had to write down all the notes because I know that I am releasing this video in July, so it did happen a little while ago. It was supposed to be from 10 to 5. I got there at around 8:30, and it was a market that I've been to before. I do that summer market, well, not summer, I do that spring market, and I also do that fall market every year for the past 3 years, and it usually is a very good market. So even though I knew it was gonna rain, I knew that a couple people would be coming out, so I definitely wanted to be there. I usually don't cancel my markets last minute unless there is a rain date. If I know that it's gonna rain, I usually try to show up, even if it's only gonna be for a small amount of time, because I don't want to burn any bridges with any market coordinators by not showing up for my spot, because I think that's a bad look if you just don't show up due to rain. Even if I do show up, I try to just have a smaller setup that I don't have any of my products getting wet, and I bring a lot of extra tarps, and I may bring like clear shower curtains, or I don't bring any tablecloths that are going to hit the ground, because then sometimes there's water that's washing through and then your tablecloths will get wet. But I usually try to go to all the markets that I am scheduled to go. I'm gonna insert the setup footage. It is taken at a weird angle because I had placed my camera in the back of the tent instead of placing it in the front of the tent. I knew I should have placed it in the front of the tent, but when I was setting up, there was a lot of people walking on the sidewalk because other people were driving in and out, so they weren't walking in the street as yet because I had gotten there so early. So someone had bumped my camera, and then people were walking into the tent. It was a whole lot happening, so I had to put the camera in the back because I didn't want to wait until there were less people to set up, because then I wouldn't have enough time to set up. And since I knew it was gonna rain, I needed to give myself all the time and like do all the precautions and make sure everything was tied down and nothing was too low and the rain wouldn't blow into anything. So the camera angle is a little weird, but I will insert the footage here and I'll see you guys in a little bit. even though the market was very short, I had good sales, like not amazing, but good sales for the short amount of time that I was there. The market did cost $110, and there was not going to be a rain date, so I would be losing out on $110 if I did not show up to that market. So I definitely did. My best sellers were mystery bags. I sold 6 mystery bags. My mystery bags don't have a standard price. It depends on the item that I put in the mystery bag. So they range from around $15 to around $30 in the mystery bag. And I did sell 6 of them. I sold 2 bumblebees, 1 large bumblebee, 1 small bumblebee. I sold 4 cats. Those are my loaf cats. I sold 3 possums. I also sold 4 snakes, 4 of my baby snakes. I had no big snakes. I sold 1 bear. It was a green bear, and he had star and moon eyes. I'll try to get a picture of him in here. I sold 1 of my jumbo elephants, 2 chickens, 1 pickle, and there were some other random items that I did sell, but I was not keeping track of everything because I was looking out for the rain. And then there was a girl who came by, and she had 2 baby bunnies, and she brought them in my tent, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, why do you have baby bunnies? And she was like, oh, someone was moving and they couldn't take care of them, so they gave them to me. So I was like, they were so adorable. She handed them to me, and then she left. So I had 1 of the bunnies, and she left with the other bunny. And then I was trying to check people out with this bunny in my hand. I couldn't write all my transactions down because she was gone for around 40 minutes. So she finally came back with another bunny, and I was like, where's the water bowl? Like, where's the food? They seemed real lethargic and tired. So I was like, you know, what's going on with the food? Are you going to take them home? Because it's going to rain. You can't be out here with these 2 baby bunnies. So she took 1 bunny and left me with the other bunny, and then she was gone for another 30 minutes. So by the time she came back with the second bunny, it had started drizzling, so I'd started to move all my items to the middle of the tent, so just in case the rain started to blow in. And she came back and eventually got the bunny. Then it was full on rain. Then they had the cops come through and tell us that we were able to pack up. By this time it was around 1 o'clock, and I was so happy to go. The sales there were really good. I usually don't talk about the sales that I make, but I did at least make around, I would say, 6 to 8 times my booth fee. So I'm very happy that I did go. That would be one thing I do tell people, that if you have a market and it's gonna rain, I would still show up to that market. Like, you potentially could have good sales. There were a lot of vendors that did not show up, but there were a lot of vendors that did. People know that the market was going to happen because, like I said, it's a market that happens twice a year in that spot, and it's a really good area. So I knew people were going to come. So I definitely showed up. And if I were you out there and it's going to be a rainy market, then I would just prepare for the rain and not have a rain date, because you don't want to upset the coordinators and then they never have you come back to that specific market, because it possibly could be a good market and the rain could just affect your sales. So if you have a market and it does rain on the market day and the sales are bad, I wouldn't give up on that market, because I've done that before where I've signed up for a market, it's rained, and then they were having it again, and I was like, well, okay, I'll try it out again. And then I went back and the sales were amazing. So I would definitely double check the markets to just see if it's because it was raining or if there were other factors that happened and the turnout was low. Another thing I realized at this market, because people knew that it was going to rain, everyone bought very quick. There was no hesitation. There was no, I'll be back, or I'm going to look around. They knew it was going to rain, and they made their purchases and they got on their way. And I do appreciate that. People were saying to me, oh, I know it's going to rain, and do you have any more? And I was like, nope, I don't have any more. This is all I brought. I knew it was going to rain. I didn't bring a lot of extra inventory. So people were just purchasing and going, and that made me very happy, because I started to realize that the things I brought with me were dwindling. And for a split second, I thought, oh my gosh, you're going to run out of products. Well, not everything, but certain items, because I think I had 1 pickle and I sold the 1 pickle, and someone saw, and the person that I sold the pickle to and came and asked if I had another pickle, but I'd only brought 1 pickle because of the whole rain. I didn't want to bring too much inventory. But I would definitely make a contingency plan if you do have a rainy market, and I would still definitely go. I'm gonna insert some pictures of the other things that were going on at this market. I think I bought some popcorn and it was really good. And then they had this hallway that had like some umbrellas hanging and it was really, really cute. I'm also gonna insert that picture. But this is where I'm gonna end this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everyone's having an amazing crochet week. I'm gonna be posting my other market day videos soon, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.